Good afternoon, Joel.
G'day, Deb. How are you?
I'm well, thank you. What's your take on this?
Look, let me first start by saying that I'm a proud Aboriginal man. I'm a good auntie on Bay man from the top end, but I've lived on Gunner land my whole life, and I'm also a Crow supporter. When this happened during the week, I was shattered. You know, Tex is someone that is a role model for not only Aboriginal children, Aboriginal people, all Crow supporters. When he said what he said, or when the allegations came out, my first thoughts were, I'm thinking of Robbie Young from North Adelaide. You know, we are Aboriginal first, Crows, North Adelaide, and Glenelg in my case second. The disappointment there kicked in, you know, someone who is a role model making those comments. I praise that official for calling it out. As an Aboriginal man, we've been fighting for, you know, the racism or fighting against racism for so long, and that's where we need non-Aboriginal people to actually take the courage to fight against racism. That's how it's going to change.
Okay, Joel, thank you. Excellent perspective to bring in, and a very personal one indeed. Glenn from Goolwa, good afternoon.
Oh, good afternoon.
What did you want to say, Glenn?
Oh, sorry. Yes, I got 2 points. I was on a couple of buses.
Yeah.
One to
I think that's what it is.
And the Aboriginal embassy was there at the time, and the driver said something casual about, look at that mess, and someone said, God, what a mess behind me, and I turned around and I said, these people fought also alongside of us in the World War. Don't you think about that? I got a rather cool reception, I thought. And secondly, I was in Tasmania another time on a bus trip, another senior group, and the girl said, this is a cliff where a lot of my relatives were pushed off by white people. A girl nearby said, oh, I feel like, you know, I should apologise. And this guy nearby said, you don't need to apologise. I said, yeah, why not? She certainly does. And he gave me a salty look at the end. I was victimised, and that's true. So, yeah, I'll stand up for them because I grew up with them. Anyhow, I'm not an Aboriginal myself, but I grew up in Eden Hills and I know them.
But, I mean, racism can apply broadly, but thanks, Glenn, for your personal experience. Getting quite a few texts on this issue. Racism within white communities too, you know, Greeks and Italians still get called racial slurs, and I fully accept that. We're talking about racism generally here. We're not talking about specific
There should be some signage down at the front of it.
You know, specific communities that are experiencing it. We're talking about it across the board. This person, Stan, says, give me a break, courage. A Crows official reports a Crows player, and that's considered
Somewhere along
courageous.
here, it begins here, I think.
Doing one's job. We don't know who the person is, but
There was a sign.
Tex Walker is a star player.
There you go, an arch type sign, yeah. Here
I
we
think
go.
it would take a bit of courage, to be honest.
Geez, that's aged so much since 2008,
shown more courage
I
by
think it was.
the Adelaide Football Club official if they'd got Tex
Wow.
and informed him what he said.
That was bright green and everything.
Take it from there, apology, etc.
We'll have to find another spot.
Maybe the official had it in for Tex. Well, I hope that's not the case, Kev. And this person says, unfortunately, I cannot see an end of racism as we know it. I was disappointed by Tex Walker's rant. I feel he got off way too lightly. For a man in his position, I was equally disappointed to see the racist backlash towards Walker himself. Some of the comments aimed at him absolutely vile. Fighting racism with racism just keeps the cycle going. I couldn't agree more. Racism is racism, no matter who it comes from and no matter who it's directed at. And this person says that was something similar. Some years ago, my late husband was racially abused, and what was said to him was vile, so it can happen in the reverse, not condoning racial abuse of any kind. Tanya is at Aldinga. Welcome, Tanya.
Hi, how are you going?
Great.
I just wanted to share this story because it's really close to my heart what you're talking about. As a white person, I feel that it's our responsibility to really end this sort of systemic and racialisation that happens in Australia. But I was with a professor, I'm a student, and I really respect and admire this man, so I want to get this right. But we were doing field work, and somehow we got onto the topic of cultural burning because we were the sites in former burn areas. And somehow we got into a position where he made this off-the-cuff comment about sort of Aboriginal people that tear down their houses, blah, blah, blah. I think we all sort of know that kind of comment that's gone around for a long time. And I just blurted out, before thinking about it, that's so racist. And then I immediately felt
How do you
sick
get
that
in
I had
there?
done this. That had so much
Go through
authority
the
over
sty.
me at the time.
There isn't one.
Had helped me out
There's
so
one there.
much. But
Was
he
there?
also
Yeah.
is really well travelled and really respectful and kind, and I don't think that it had occurred to him that this thing that he had said that he had clearly heard a long